Have you ever wondered if the subtle shifts you've been feeling lately are signs of something much bigger, a transformation that is quietly reshaping your entire existence? You're not alone. Spiritual awakening doesn't arrive with fireworks or grand announcements. It often begins with a whisper, a soft but persistent longing for something more, something deeper. And if you're here watching this, it's likely because you felt the pull of that whisper and are beginning to walk the most profound journey of your life. So let's dive in together into the 7 powerful signs that you're making huge progress on your spiritual awakening journey. As we unravel each sign, I want you to do something for me. Don't just listen. Let these words sink into your soul. Reflect, feel, and most importantly, ask yourself this: am I truly ready to embrace the version of myself that is waiting for me on the other side of this journey? One of the first signs of significant progress is a growing discomfort with the life you once knew. You might wake up one day and realize that the job you thought defined you, the relationships that once felt comfortable, and the routines that made up your days no longer feel aligned. It's not that these things are bad, they might still serve others perfectly well, but for you, they feel hollow, as if they no longer fit the shape of your evolving soul. This discomfort, as unsettling as it feels, is not a curse. It's a calling. It's your inner self saying, there's more out there for you. It's time to let go of the life you've outgrown. And yet, letting go is rarely easy. You might feel torn between the safety of your old world and the unknown promise of what lies ahead. Here's a question I want you to sit with. What are you holding onto that you know, deep down, is holding you back? It could be a belief, a habit, or even a person. Whatever it is, recognize that releasing it isn't about loss, it's about creating space for something greater.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons.
Another powerful sign is the undeniable sense that you're being guided. Suddenly, events that once felt random begin to take on a mysterious coherence. You might notice synchronicities, those uncanny coincidences that seem too meaningful to be chance. Maybe you're thinking of someone, and they call you out of the blue. Or you keep seeing the same number sequence everywhere you go. At first, these moments might feel like small curiosities, but over time they become impossible to ignore. You begin to sense that the universe, or perhaps your higher self, is speaking to you, nudging you toward your highest path. But let me ask you this: when these signs show up, do you trust them? Or do you dismiss them as mere coincidence? Because here's the thing: progress on the spiritual journey requires faith. Not blind faith, but a willingness to believe that you are supported, even when the evidence isn't always clear. The more you trust, the more these signs will multiply. And then there's the shift in how you experience time. Have you noticed that time feels less linear these days? Maybe entire hours seem to disappear when you're lost in something you love, or moments of clarity stretch out as if they're suspended in eternity. This is because, as you awaken, you begin to tap into a deeper truth. Time is not the rigid, unyielding force we've been taught it is. It's fluid, elastic, and intimately tied to our state of consciousness. When you're aligned with your soul, time expands. When you're out of alignment, it contracts, leaving you feeling rushed and scattered. So I want you to reflect on this. How are you spending your time? Are you rushing through your days, checking off boxes on a to-do list? Or are you creating space for stillness, for presence, for connection? Because the way you relate to time is a direct reflection of how deeply you're living your truth. And let's not forget the emotional roller coaster that often accompanies spiritual progress. One moment, you're overwhelmed with gratitude, marveling at the beauty of existence. The next, you're plunged into despair, questioning everything you thought you knew. If this sounds familiar, take heart. It doesn't mean you're failing, it means you're transforming. Emotions are the language of the soul, and as you awaken, they'll rise to the surface in ways you've never experienced before. But here's the secret: these emotions, as intense as they may be, are not here to punish you. They're here to free you. Each wave of anger, sadness, or fear is an opportunity to heal a part of yourself that's been buried for far too long. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, instead of resisting, ask yourself, what is this emotion trying to teach me? What part of me is ready to be healed? As we come to the end of this first part, I want to leave you with this thought: spiritual awakening is not about reaching a destination. It's about embracing the process. Every sign, every experience is a piece of the puzzle, one that's slowly revealing the most authentic, radiant version of you. But the question remains, are you willing to surrender to the journey, even when it challenges you? Because the next phase of this exploration will take us even deeper into the realms of intuition, purpose, and the profound shifts that occur when you fully step into your divine path. As we continue this journey into the soul, let me ask you, have you ever felt a pull, a knowing that defies logic? Something deep inside that says, this is the way, even when the world around you disagrees. This is the voice of your intuition, and as you progress on the spiritual awakening path, this voice becomes louder, clearer, and more impossible to ignore. Intuition is not a mystical gift reserved for a select few. It's a universal compass, one that each of us is born with, but often forgets how to use. Think about the times you followed your gut instinct. How often was it right? Now think about the times you ignored it. How often did you regret it? As you awaken, you'll find that your intuition is no longer a faint whisper in the background. It becomes a guiding force, steering you toward what aligns with your highest self and away from what doesn't. But here's the challenge: intuition doesn't always make sense. It might tell you to leave a job that seems secure or to pursue a path that others think is foolish. It requires courage to follow, especially when the stakes are high. So I ask you, are you brave enough to trust your inner compass, even when the road it points to is uncertain? When you do, something extraordinary happens. You begin to align with your purpose. Purpose is not something you find outside of yourself. It's not a career, a title, or a role. It's the unique essence of who you are, the gift you came here to share with the world. And as you awaken, this purpose becomes impossible to ignore. You might find yourself drawn to new passions, new ways of being, or even entirely new paths that feel more authentic than anything you've ever known. But purpose isn't always glamorous. Sometimes it's found in the quiet, unassuming moments of service, kindness, and presence. It's not about what you do, it's about how you do it. So let me ask you, are you living your life in a way that feels purposeful? Or are you waiting for some grand moment to arrive before you start showing up as your truest self? As we continue, I want you to pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Feel the energy of your body, the aliveness within you. You've come so far on this journey of awakening, and I want to honor that. You may not always realize it, but the fact that you're here, seeking, learning, and growing, is a sign of immense progress. And now we enter the final part of this exploration, a look at how spiritual awakening transforms the way you manifest, connect, and live in harmony with the universe. Let me ask you something: what does it mean to truly manifest? For many, the word manifestation conjures images of vision boards, affirmations, or willing material things into existence. But the truth is far deeper than this. As you awaken, you realize that manifestation isn't about forcing the universe to meet your desires. It's about aligning yourself with the frequency of your soul's truth. When your inner world, your thoughts, emotions, beliefs vibrates at the same frequency as your highest self, the outer world naturally mirrors that vibration. This is why on the spiritual journey, you might start to notice that things you once struggled to achieve now flow to you with ease. Opportunities, relationships, even material resources begin to appear when you least expect them. It's not magic, it's resonance. You're no longer chasing what you want, you're attracting it by becoming a living embodiment of your authentic self. But here's the catch: manifestation requires clarity. You must be willing to ask yourself, what do I truly want? Not what society says you should want, not what your ego craves, but what your soul desires. Are you willing to sit with that question, even if the answer surprises you? As you gain clarity, you'll notice something else happening. Your relationships begin to shift. Awakening is not a solitary path, even though it can feel lonely at times. The deeper you go, the more you attract connections that resonate with your newfound vibration. These might be friends, mentors, or even strangers who cross your path at exactly the right moment. You'll feel an instant recognition, as if your souls have known each other for lifetimes. But there's another side to this. As you grow, some relationships may fall away. This can be painful, but it's important to understand that not everyone is meant to walk the entire journey with you. Some people are here to teach you lessons, while others are here to grow alongside you. Letting go doesn't mean you failed them or that they failed you. It simply means your paths are diverging for now. So I ask you, are you willing to release what no longer serves you, even if it breaks your heart? Because only when you let go can you create space for connections that truly nourish your soul. And then there's the connection that transcends all others, the connection with the universe itself. As your awakening deepens, you begin to feel this connection in every moment, every breath. You realize that you're not separate from the world around you, you are an integral part of it. The trees, the stars, the people you meet, everything is an extension of the same divine energy that flows through you. This realization is not just intellectual, it's visceral. You feel it in the way the wind touches your skin, in the way the sun warms your face, in the way your heart beats in rhythm with the cosmos. But this connection comes with a responsibility. Once you see the oneness of all things, you can no longer live unconsciously. You begin to notice the impact of your actions, not just on yourself but on the collective. You start to ask questions like, how am I contributing to the world around me? Am I living in a way that honors the earth, the people, the energy that sustains me? These questions are not meant to burden you but to empower you. Because the more aligned you become with the universe, the more you realize your power to create positive change, not just for yourself, but for everyone you touch. And this brings us to perhaps the most beautiful sign of all, a profound sense of gratitude. Gratitude is not just a fleeting emotion, it's a state of being. It's waking up in the morning and feeling awe for the simple fact that you're alive. It's looking at the challenges you've faced and seeing them as stepping stones that brought you to this moment. It's recognizing that every experience, no matter how painful or joyful, has been a gift from the universe to help you grow. When you live in gratitude, you unlock the final key to spiritual awakening: surrender. Surrender is not about giving up, it's about giving in to the flow of life, to the wisdom of your soul, to the divine plan that is unfolding through you. It's about trusting that everything, even the things you don't understand, is happening for your highest good. So I want to leave you with one last question. Can you surrender to the unknown? Can you trust that the universe has your back, even when the path ahead is unclear? As we conclude this journey, I want you to know this: you are exactly where you're meant to be. Whether you're just beginning to awaken or have been on this path for years, every step you've taken has brought you closer to the truth of who you are. The signs we've explored: discomfort, guidance, intuition, purpose, manifestation, connection, gratitude, are not just markers of progress. They are the essence of the awakened life, a life that is rich, meaningful, and aligned with the infinite wisdom of the universe. And now, it's your turn. Take everything you've heard today and reflect on it. Journal about it. Meditate on it. Share it with someone you trust. But most importantly, live it. Because the spiritual awakening journey is not about accumulating knowledge, it's about embodying wisdom. You are the creator of your reality, the architect of your soul's path. So go out there and live as the radiant, awakened being you were always meant to be. Thank you for walking this path with me. Remember, you are never alone. The universe is always with you, guiding you, supporting you, loving you. Until next time, stay open, stay curious, and keep shining your light. Now that you've begun to recognize the signs of your spiritual awakening and the shifts occurring within you, the question becomes: how do you live from this awakened state in a world that often feels chaotic, disconnected, and even resistant to change? This is where the real work begins. Because awakening isn't just about reaching a higher state of consciousness, it's about embodying that consciousness in the way you move through the world. It's about transforming your relationships, your habits, your goals, and even your struggles into opportunities to express the divine essence of who you are. Let's start with something practical: your daily routine. How do you begin your day? Is it with a rush of stress, grabbing your phone and diving into the noise of the world? Or do you take a moment to connect with yourself, to set an intention, to breathe? One of the simplest yet most profound ways to ground your spiritual awakening is to create a morning practice that aligns you with your higher self. This could be meditation, journaling, mindful movement, or even just sitting in silence with a cup of tea. Whatever it is, let it be a sacred ritual, a way to anchor yourself in the present moment before the demands of the day take over. But here's the thing: it's not just about the mornings. Awakening is a 24/7 practice. It's about bringing mindfulness to everything you do, from washing the dishes to having difficult conversations. So I want to ask you, how present are you in your daily life? When you're eating, are you tasting your food? When you're listening to someone, are you truly hearing them? When you're working, are you pouring your energy into it with intention, or are you going through the motions? Presence is the foundation of awakened living. And the more you practice it, the more you'll notice something extraordinary. Even the most mundane tasks can become acts of devotion. Washing the dishes becomes a meditation. Walking becomes a prayer. Every moment becomes an opportunity to connect with the sacred. Now, let's talk about relationships. Because one of the most challenging yet rewarding aspects of spiritual awakening is how it changes the way you relate to others. As you awaken, you'll find that your relationships mirror your inner state. When you're aligned with your higher self, your interactions become more authentic, more compassionate, and more harmonious. But when you're out of alignment, relationships can become a source of conflict and frustration. The key here is self-awareness. Before you react to someone, pause and ask yourself, am I responding from a place of love, or am I reacting from a wound? This simple question can transform the way you communicate. It allows you to take responsibility for your energy and to approach others with empathy, even when they trigger you. But let's go deeper. As you awaken, you'll also notice that some relationships no longer feel aligned. This can be painful, especially when it involves people you care about deeply. You might feel a sense of guilt or even fear about letting go. But remember, this letting go doesn't mean you're abandoning anyone. It simply means you're honoring the truth of your path. And when you do so, you create space for new, soul-aligned connections to enter your life. Here's a question to sit with: what relationships in your life are helping you grow, and which ones are keeping you small? Be honest with yourself, and know that it's okay to create boundaries where needed. Boundaries are not walls, they are bridges to more authentic relationships. They allow you to show up fully while also protecting your energy. Speaking of energy, let's explore how your spiritual awakening affects your physical and emotional well-being. Have you noticed that you're more sensitive lately, not just emotionally but also physically? This is because as you awaken, your energy body becomes more attuned. You might find that certain foods, environments, or even people drain your energy, while others uplift you. Pay attention to these shifts. They are your body's way of guiding you toward what supports your awakening. Start by nourishing yourself literally and metaphorically. Eat foods that feel alive and vibrant. Spend time in nature, where the energy is pure and grounding. Surround yourself with people who inspire you and uplift your spirit. And most importantly, rest when you need to. Awakening is an intense process, and it's okay to take time to recharge. Remember, self-care is not selfish, it's essential. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture, your purpose. Because as you awaken, you'll feel an increasing pull to align your life with your soul's mission. This doesn't necessarily mean quitting your job or making drastic changes overnight. Purpose is not about what you do, it's about how you do it. It's about bringing your highest self into every aspect of your life, whether you're raising a family, working a 9-to-5, or creating art. But here's the thing, purpose is not something you figure out with your mind. It's something you feel with your heart. So I want you to ask yourself, what makes me come alive? What brings me joy, fulfillment, and a sense of connection? These are the breadcrumbs that will lead you to your purpose. Follow them, even if they don't seem to make logical sense. Trust that your soul knows the way. And finally, let's explore the ultimate truth of awakened living: surrender. As you progress on your spiritual path, you'll realize that true freedom comes not from controlling your life, but from surrendering to its flow. This doesn't mean giving up, it means letting go of resistance and trusting that the universe is working in your favor. It means embracing the unknown with an open heart and a curious mind. So I'll leave you with this: can you let go of the need to have all the answers? Can you trust that even when things don't go as planned, they are unfolding exactly as they should? This is the essence of awakened living not from fear but from faith, not from control but from trust. As we conclude this part of the journey, I want you to take a moment to reflect on everything we've explored. From recognizing the signs of awakening to grounding that wisdom into your daily life, you've come a long way. But remember, this is not the end. Awakening is not a destination, it's a lifelong journey. There will be challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But there will also be beauty, growth, and moments of profound clarity. So keep walking your path, one step at a time. Stay open, stay curious, and stay true to yourself. And know that no matter where you are on this journey, you are never alone. The universe is always with you, guiding you, supporting you, and celebrating every moment of your awakening. Thank you for being here, for showing up, and for sharing your light with the world. Until next time, remember you are the creator of your reality, the architect of your soul's path, and the embodiment of the divine. Keep shining, my friend. The world needs your light.